Hello, good morning, afternoon, whatever time it is for you while you're watching this presentation. My name is Shiloh Johnson and I am just a simple general studies major. So to get this presentation started, let's talk more about ethics. Ethics is very hard to define because everybody can see it a little bit differently than others. But it is known as one of the branches of knowledge that helps deal more into the moral principles that help control people's behaviors. This governs whether or not something is considered right or wrong. So let's get into the divisions of ethics. We have four. The first one is descriptive ethics, the second one is normative, the third one is meta-ethics, and the fourth is going to be applied ethics. So for descriptive ethics, this goes into what and how one singular person or a group would think about rights and wrongs. The goal of descriptive ethics is more about understanding an ethical position instead of evaluating the ethical position. All right, so let's go into meta-ethics. Meta-ethics is where you start to question the meaning of morals and concepts that relate to it. This is where you think about ethics itself, and you may ask questions like, what is the nature of good morality, and what makes something right or wrong? All right, so for us to be able to go into the next two divisions, I feel like we should know a little bit more into moral theories. Moral theories explain what makes certain behaviors morally correct and what makes things or people see something more as good compared to other things. So moral theories help people decide whether or not something is morally correct because they act on it. They provide us with a set of standards that we can use to figure out if something is in the correct terms of morality. All right, so now we can go back to those divisions of ethics, and it'll be our third one, which is normative ethics. Normative ethics is one of the processes of finding if something is considered an okay thing to do to solve a problem or situation by applying it to the moral theories. And then we have our applied ethics, which is where you apply the rules that you have found from these moral theories to ethical issues you can find in the real world. This is where you can determine a correct action on a situation. For this, you may ask questions like, is abortion right or wrong? Or is capital punishment morally okay? Questions like that. I feel like the crash courses that we used in this class actually helped out a lot with seeing how each of these things actually are defined. I found those very helpful. Now we are going to move into the second part of this presentation, which is about ethics in my field of study or my career. Currently, I'm a general studies major, but I work in a medical facility, and I have a wish of either going into the medical field or doing something completely different. For this presentation, I felt like it would be a lot easier just to go into the code of ethics at my job and how understanding the ethics helps in my career. I actually work at a medical facility building medical devices, and we have many, many rules that if you do not know them, it is very, very possible that you will not be able to work there much longer because we have very strict rules to make sure that every single medical device is safe to be used. Having a code of ethics at my job just seems like it should be mandatory to know. Since we are, in fact, building these products for doctors to use on patients, we must know the code of ethics that helps know what is right or wrong in this field. This helps by minimizing any errors, creating responsibility with more people. This creates an aspect where you can see that there's a lot more trust put into you as a person and a group. If you work with others and make sure that you know that you are accountable for everything that you do and do not do while you're working, it helps out a lot. There are many reasons why ethics are important in my field, as you are very, very responsible for so many different tasks, and you should be able to make good judgments and be able to show that you are aware that you are held accountable for everything that you do and do not do. There are many situations where they will actually pull you aside and let you know if you are doing something unethical in their eyes, because if anything gets messed up or if anything distracts you while you are trying to work, it's very possible that you could mess up a product, and these are supposed to be products to help save lives, not make it harder on the patient. I would like to thank you guys very much for taking the time out to actually listen to my presentation. Thanks.